So what's up guys, Jermaine here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I got something special here for you guys, and I'm sitting down and giving a full in-depth interview with an individual who is not only a good friend to me and somebody that I respect and look up to. This is an individual who essentially turned a hobby and something that they just enjoy doing into a business, and not only just any business, a successful business at that. This individual picked up a camera and turned it into a fashion photography empire. This individual has worked with A-list celebrities from all across the board, and we're going to cover all that today. We're going to cover how he started, why he started, and the individuals that he worked with, and also give advice to individuals who are looking to build an empire just from starting from scratch and simply taking something that you enjoy doing and turning into a successful business. So without further ado, I'm gonna interview my friend Timothy Smith, the fashion photographer. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. So Tim, what's up, man?
What's going on, Jermaine? How you doing?
So I wanted to bring you here today so you can share your journey with others on how you started your business and the people that you've worked with, your journey and everything. And I feel like it could be a great inspiration to a lot of new entrepreneurs on how you started and the challenges that you faced, and how you was essentially just simply took something that you enjoyed doing and turn it into a successful business, and how you also was able to get your fiance involved, and you guys are making money together.
I mean, that's the goal, right, for almost every entrepreneur, I feel like. To be able to balance work life, family life, and all of that. So.
And it just works together perfectly. So how did you start? Like, tell us, bring us to the beginning. Like, you're a fashion photographer.
All right.
Tell us the beginning.
I guess let's start from when I was a wee little lad, I guess. So as a kid, I've always was fascinated with visual arts, or like media, entertainment, in that realm. So, and I guess it started kind of from my favorite superhero being Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, obviously the superhero, he's like this duality to him. He was a regular high school kid that had a job as a photographer. So Peter Parker, I was more fascinated with Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man than Spider-Man being Peter Parker. Is that thing of balancing, right? So I guess that's what started it. Because as a child, my infatuation with Spider-Man led me to want to pick up a camera. At the time, we didn't have no money. I couldn't afford a camera. We had money, but just camera was just like off the table. So when I was a child, what I used to do was take cereal boxes and cut out cameras and put them all around the house. They were like my video cameras, because, and I guess this is like kind of a breakthrough to the creativity. I used to have scripts and make meaning of why my action figures were fighting each other. So like, I would put up cereal boxes all around the house as cameras, and I have to write a script like, why is Spider-Man fighting Batman? Even if it's like, I was a child, so probably the script was probably like whatever. It was a hint on my creativity. So let's say fast forward some years, I ended up going to undergrad. I went for communications.
So you initially didn't go to school. So this wasn't going to be something that you actually pursued professionally.
No.
So this was literally just a hobby for you.
It was a hobby. It was a hobby that I didn't even have the tools to do the hobby, right? So it was something I was always infatuated with, but I was never able to do it. And even when I was younger, I used to tell my aunt all the time, hey, after I saw The Matrix, I was like, oh my God, I want to be a special effects editor, right? The thing is, like, going to art school and creative schools, especially when you're dealing with like the traditional kind of black family, it's not really what you do. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna take out all these student loans, go be a lawyer, a doctor, or something, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you had to go to college because that's what
my parents
of our generation.
Yeah, they kind of was pushing me to go to college, and then once I made that decision, I wasn't. Yeah, I kind of saw the anger.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I did the whole thing. I went to undergrad, and even in undergrad, I was doing communication. So mass comm majors are like, there are some there who want to be in broadcast and stuff like that. There are a lot of people actually. But kind of the majority of people are just like, oh, okay, you don't know what you want to do yet.
Yeah.
Because mass comm, liberal arts, that's kind of like...
It's just, I'm going to college.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
Exactly. So I was an undergrad. I really decided, you know what? I was somewhat professional gaming at the time. And I wanted to create... At this time, YouTube was big, but it wasn't like now. Yeah. I wanted to create a YouTube channel or work for, at the time, G4 Television, and have a show talking about video games and reviewing video games and movies, etc. I also hate being in front of the camera, so that was an easy X off.
Okay.
And then things took a turn when I saw this movie called Black Swan, because I found out it was shot with like a Canon 7D, like some scenes. And I started doing some research, and I'm like, oh, it's not that expensive. It's like $1,000 at the time, which was expensive. But what happened around that same time, my grandmother passed away, and she's the person that raised me. And then I got a student refund check. So it was like these series of events happened right back to back. And I took that as a sign, like, you know what? Let me go get a camera. Let me buy this camera. I bought it on Craigslist from some guy in Virginia. It was kind of shady anyway. And let me try to create some shit. So I tried to create a short film.
Okay.
And it was cool. But what happened, it was an accident. I took a photo while I was filming. And it just blew my mind.
The photo?
Yeah, the fact that I was like, wait a minute. I could be Spider-Man now. Like, I can take photos.
Yeah.
And once I figured that out, it brought back all these nostalgic feelings of like me and my grandfather at the table and him being able to draw and like shading and lighting and mixing the light with the shadows. And I wasn't able to do that. But then I realized quickly with this camera I can draw.
Yeah.
I can draw with light.
Yeah.
So yes, it's kind of like, that's kind of long-winded, but that's what got me to this point.
So at what point did you decide I'm going to take photography serious?
Oh, it was at that moment. At that moment, I was like, "Oh, it's over."
And how far along were you in college at this point?
Oh, dog, I was like maybe 2 semesters away from finishing.
So you was almost done.
I was done. There's no way I could switch now.
Okay.
So what I did was I had a car. I sold my car. I sold a car. I sold at least like $7,000 worth of sneakers. Like, cause I used to buy a lot of Bape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I got into college and was able to pay for all my books because of all my crazy addictive shoe collection.
Yeah.
I was able to flip it.
Okay.
So I was a young entrepreneur.
Yeah. You were already. Yeah. Before you even realized it.
Yeah, exactly. So then my aunt was like, "Oh wow," and I was like, "Yeah, dog, I'm buying these shoes for $200-$300, which seems like a lot, but if I sell them for even, let's say if I buy for $300, if I sell them for $350, the volume of sneakers that I have, the variety, you know what I'm saying, I can easily make my money back after I already wore something, plus a $50 profit. So if I sell 4 sneakers in one day, I got all the money I paid for the shoes, plus a $200 profit. That's how I was kind of like getting into it. So anyway, I sold off all my possessions. My ex-girlfriend at the time was furious. I think you've been to my condo.
Yeah, at North Carolina, I remember that.
I had a really nice condo, got rid of it. I came up, just a semester before I'm graduating. I came up here. I slept on my aunt's floor for the summertime. And, because, I mean, she just didn't have space, and that's where I had to stay. So I slept on the living room floor, and I went and I got an internship at a fashion kind of creative marketing agency.
So this was your first real entry into... First thing. And it was always fashion photography.
So here's the thing. I didn't know. I kind of knew, because with fashion, it gave me the ability to draw. I can make and create whatever the hell I want, and I can like make it look cool.
Okay.
When I got to the internship, I saw like this is the end result of making it look good.
Okay.
And I was like, holy shit, this is it. And I don't know from the sneaker story, but I don't know if you gathered this from that, but inherently I have an addictive personality. I just have an addictive trait. That. It is what it is. I got that from my parents. So when I say this is what I want, is it. I'm addicted to it.
Until you just go full.
Yeah,
I'm kind of that way too.
Exactly. So luckily, I'm addicted to something that I love, that is good for you, and is lucrative.
So you graduate college, you come back to New York to do the internship?
No. I'm doing it while I'm still in college.
Okay.
So I had an internship. Also had a job as a concierge in Battery City, and some nights I work overnight. So I would work overnight, sleep in the locker room for like an hour or two, and go to my internship. And the internship, you don't get paid like $10 a day or a week.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was really good. And what really blew my mind is I got in charge of managing the invoices. It was like I just had to do it for that one day. And I saw numbers at that time that I was like, there's no way, bro.
Like what kind of numbers you talking about?
Yeah, I think I could pull it up, but like, I saved them all. I emailed them to myself.
Like, give me a ballpark figure.
Like 60, 70 grand day rate.
That's per day. 70 grand per day.
Per day of production. The photographer would bring home about 30
grand a day.
Their team would bring, and sorry, and obviously these aren't like bigger production shoots. Like,
yeah, but like, I mean,
yeah,
bigger production shoots like what, like
H&M, Macy's, and stuff like that. I'm not saying with those jobs. I'm just saying it's the idea, like Gap
on
and
that
like
scale. Okay.
Yeah, and what I saw was their day rate wasn't per se the highest. So let's say the day rate was like $5-6 grand. What was high was their licensing, and I didn't know what it meant at the time.
Explain that to me, the licensing.
So when I finally went to grad school, and we'll get to that part, I learned the photo that I take is my intellectual property. I own it.
You're the photographer.
Me, the photographer. You paid me to come here to take these photos.
Okay.
Now, after I'm done taking the photos, you pay me for my creativity for the day.
Okay.
I then turn around and say, hey, let's say like a car. This is what I created. You can lease it. For how many years, how many months, but you have to pay me for it.
Okay.
So, and especially as photographers, we don't have 401ks, we don't have pensions, we don't inherently have stuff like that. It's all, you got to do it on your own.
Okay.
So what a photographer told me was like, yo, dog, celebrities, licensing, that's your retirement plan. Get into the habit. Even if you are just working on the smaller end and you're licensing your photo for like $100 a year, cool, but just getting to the habit of that. Like, you don't own these photos. You're the client. I own them.
So, photography can actually make someone passive income, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, let me get this straight. Like, say I'm the photographer.
Okay.
No, well, yeah, like I'm the photographer. Gucci hires me.
Yeah.
I do the shoot, day rate, say 70 grand. Out of that, I take home 20 grand.
Yeah, because you pay your team, your production, and all that.
So
let's say the budget overall is 70 grand for the day. Out of that, you take your pull.
Okay.
It's you. Then it's a whole team of people. Well, yeah, you're on the right track. Yeah. Let's say you need 20 grand for the
20 grand
shoot.
is mine out of the 70.
Yeah.
The photos now I would license to Gucci to put in like magazines or billboards or stuff like that.
Yeah. Or what Gucci would do is say, hey, and I'm going to just give a more realistic budget for right now during like these times. The budget would be like, you know what, we have $5,000 for the day.
Okay.
But we want to license your photo. They'll tell you up front, let us know your licensing, and we'll work it out. So a $5,000 job can turn into a $20,000 job. You might have signed over the the rights to your photos for like a year or two, but that's passive income.
Okay.
You could get it all up front. You can have them break it down to parts. Yeah. But like the golden era of photography, people were making like $100,000 easily.
100,000. And that's just for the.
Dog, I'm not gonna say names, but like photographers in the early 2000s and the 90s were buying summer homes and Lamborghinis and Ferraris for editors just so they could keep working.
Wow.
Yeah, there are definitely photographers that get paid $1 million a job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, do you remember your first big job in photography? Like the first job to where you did and you're like, okay, I made it now.
Well, it's also relative because my first big job wasn't necessarily my best paying job.
But it was the first job that, kind of solidified to you, said, I'm here now. This is it.
Yeah. I don't know if I can say the name of the client, but yeah, I definitely had, and this is without celebrities. We'll get into that part in a second, but I've definitely had a job where it was like a hair brand.
Okay.
And this is a funny story. This is a story to let you know that you need to know about licensing.
Okay.
At that time, it was the most I've ever been paid for a shoot. It was a 5-day shoot, and it was like, at that time it was like $2,000 or $3,000 a day. I was like, oh shit, I'm set, right? Okay. Things are turning, and I think it was a 4-day shoot. That's what it was.
Okay.
So in my mind, I'm an independent contractor. I send you over a W-9, an invoice. I get paid the whole 10. I worry about taxes. I mean, the whole 8. I worry about taxes later.
Yeah.
So you kind of already start calculating for that. Anyway, I did the shoot. Before the shoot, they sent over the contract. I was super happy. I signed the contract. Come to find out later. And then first of all, they pay me through like their company. So I will say to artists, when you're working with a client, you find out immediately if they have to put you on payroll or you do yourself as an independent contractor. Because that changes dramatically.
Yeah.
It changes the money you're going to bring home.
Because you're either paying the taxes up front or
you're paying for taxes, the insurance. You're paying for all that. You're paying for all that, right? Yeah. So cool. I got caught with that. All right, fuck it. About 8 months later, I'm in a Rite Aid, and I see my photo.
What do you mean, like?
I see my photo like blasted all over Rite Aid, and the cutout things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't license the photo to them?
I didn't know.
Oh, so this was before you knew about this.
I knew about it, but I was so excited to get my first, at that time, like highest paying job that I hurried up because I was negotiating.
You didn't read the contract?
No, I was negotiating, and here's the trick. So they came to me and hit me with a low number. I'm like, I would have did it for that number, but I was like, can we get 2,000? And you messed up when you write a number, and within like 5 minutes, you email you back. Sure, here goes the contract. But at the time, I was like, I would have taken anything. I didn't care. So
I mean, this was like in your broke days.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
so I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, it's like when a rapper signs a bad contract. Yeah. Like when you are.
It was just numbers. Yeah. For that time was like.
Yeah.
Wow. Like especially like from like where we came from.
Yeah.
To get numbers like that.
To like quick, I can do this on
a day.
Something I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you getting that per day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a sneaky word that I think they changed in the last year or so.
You remember the word?
Yeah, perpetuity.
Okay.
So whenever you get a contract and you're an independent artist and you're looking, or whoever you are, you're looking, suppose you sign a contract, if you have a Mac, or I guess all Windows, press Command F or Control F to hit find in that document and type in PR. And once you see perpetuity come up, you can read it, but off rip, you already know you don't want it. Unless
I hope you guys are paying attention to this. This is important.
Unless it's a really high number that you are happy with. Think about it in music. Artists all the time are fighting to get their masters back. Perpetuity takes away your masters for your photos. It takes away the right for your photos. I can have you do this shoot for $500. I can take your photo. I can sell your photo to Tom, Dick, and Harry for $50,000. Because you signed that contract that said perpetuity, I own the rights. It doesn't matter what you say.
Wow.
Yeah.
And read your contracts.
Yeah, I'll get someone to read it for you.
I know you learned your lesson from there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't read my contract. I send them off. I have somebody I trust.
Somebody, okay.
Yeah, and I send it because I mean I don't.
Hey,
I know what to look for though.
You rich like that.
Not even. I know what to look for. And whenever, I'll be honest with y'all, whenever a contract is more than 2 pages, I'm not reading it. I'm sending it to somebody to read it for me. You can just pay them. You know.
I mean, I'm kind of guilty of that too, though. I'm over here talking.
I'm not reading that
crap, but I mean, like I send it off to my lawyer, and my lawyer just tell me like, on this page. Yeah. Nah, we're gonna scratch this out, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
you know that's what you pay your attorneys for.
That's what you pay them for. That's exactly what you pay them for.
Read your contracts for you and let you know what they don't like that's not good for you.
Absolutely.
But
get someone you can trust.
Until you get to that level, where you can do that.
Read it, and honestly, there's all types of shit like Fiverr. Fiverr?
Yeah, Fiverr. But I mean, I don't.
You can hire somebody. I mean, you don't trust it, but someone with great reviews, you can do it.
If you're not gonna read your contracts yourself, hire a lawyer.
Yeah,
and
someone that's very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
within the field of what you're doing. Because like Jermaine's lawyer is a real. I'm just happy that if you have a real estate lawyer or whatever, someone who practices within real estate, that person may not per se know the entertainment side.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're within the realm of your occupation.
And I use the same lawyer for all my real estate stuff. He knows what I want in my contracts, what I don't want.
Yeah.
The things I want to do, what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So it's already a common knowledge of what it is. So just definitely get an attorney if you're not gonna read your contracts. But if you don't have one, if you're at the beginning stages where you can't afford one or whatever, just read your contract. Simple as that. So you don't make those mistakes like how he made here.
Yeah.
So you've done all of that, and you go on to you went to grad school, right?
Yes, I went to grad school. No, I went to grad school before that job.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was my broke days when I lived in the trap house. And it was like, yo, we taking this. So that's like monetarily wise, whatever the word is.
So you did that job, and then you go on to do
other jobs.
I mean, big photo shoots though.
Big photo shoots,
and celebrities.
Yeah, but like I said, funny enough, some of those were investments on my behalf.
Because of the licensing.
The licensing, yeah, because it's like I may shoot Janet Jackson for free, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a magazine. I have Janet Jackson to be on the cover, but I have no budget. But I can pay for production. You're not going to make $1 from it. But boom,
it's your investment that you.
With most publications, they only request 3 to 6 months of licensing, digital only. You own the photos, but they just want licensing so they can distribute it through their websites and stuff like that. How valuable is a photo of Janet Jackson, though? Right? And this is hypotheticals, right?
Yeah.
So, I know this is a hard situation when David Bowie passed away. I went to a friend's house, and he had photos of David Bowie that he took. And he was like, yo, man. He's the one that told me to go shoot celebrities, man. It's your 401k plan. I made $100,000 today.
Wait, he made $100,000 that day?
That day.
Off of the photos that he took of David.
Wow. It's one of the photos that, like, when David Bowie passed, unfortunately, that was circulating around.
Wow.
He owned it. He took it.
Wow. So, you go on to do music videos?
Yeah. Because it's not really my thing, but
I mean,
I did some music videos.
The one that I remember was the one you did with
DJ Envy. So it was all within like a week. So I went to LA, and this was a trip that was an investment. I photographed YG.
Yes, I remember that.
I was out in LA with YG.
What was that campaign for?
It was for a magazine. So, but I mean, it was good. The money was alright. I had a great time in LA. And I think that was my first. I can't remember if that was my first time in LA or not. But yeah, it was a great trip. And see, these are things that you do. So his manager,
YG's manager.
Yeah, his manager like is one of his best friends. His name is I guess his name was Gavin. Me and Gavin stayed really close. Like even to today, we still talk. I'm wearing his hat actually because he has his own brand.
Okay.
So we still talk. That's a connection that happened. That was organic through art. That's forever going to stay.
Gotcha.
So when I'm out there and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm out here. You need something? Like I could take some photos or let me know. And on the flip side, when he needs something, or he knows artists looking for photographers, or when he knows someone, hey, I'm with Adidas now. I need a campaign done. Yo, I know just a person. Let me give him a ring.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I know this is also a lot about money, but those are things that you can't put a price tag on. You feel me?
Because you can't. Yeah, it's your relationships.
It's your relationships. And I also want to stress that you can't get a $10,000 job without having $10,000 relationships. Absolutely. I don't know if that makes sense, but to get a $10,000 job, you need $1 million relationship.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I talked about that in my book where it took me meeting one person, which happened to be the right person. Yeah. I made my first real estate deal with him. Yep. And because he showed me the ropes, I've gone on to buy 5. Yeah. You know, and it just happened to be I built the right relationship with the right person. Yeah. And I was able to go on and just really grow into this. And I never had any, aspirations of just buying a bunch of real estate. It was just really I just wanted to buy one property just as a hustle, really. Yeah. And it just turned into something different.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's $1 million worth of game. You could just get it from one person.
For free. $1 million worth of game. That is a fact. So, you in LA, you come back to New York.
Yeah, so I was in LA. The person who also got me the job in LA. We were already cool, but we clicked even more in LA. He flew back out here and said, "Hey, actually, DJ Envy, and we need a camera person. We need a DP or whatever for this."
Now, what video was this?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the song, but
it was DJ.
It was DJ Envy and Fetty Wap.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that song. Yeah, I remember the video.
Yeah, it was a video where he was at his house and mansion and all that. Yeah, but anyway, it was that cool. And while this thing in LA wasn't per se well paid, the DJ Envy thing, I was paid. I was paid high for. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? That at that time, that flight got me that job. Yo, if I remember correctly, I think I borrowed money from you to get back home. Actually, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And then when I got back home, I was able to do that job. Stuff started piling on because I did a good job out in LA. I took the risk. I took the gamble. I bet it. I threw the dice. Bet on myself. Yeah. From there, my career has slowly been on the up and that was like 2 or 3 years ago, right? And it's been on the up and up from there. So it's like these small incremental things that at the time seem like, it's like, why not, dog? Like I can never go back to working a 9 to 5. And the thought of me working a 9 to 5 actually irritates my soul and scares the shit out of me, right? Yeah. So I have to think about it like this. If I could go somewhere and invest my currency, which is my time, for a 9 to 5, and you take the train to work, got an hour commute, you only get 30 minutes to eat, somebody tells you to do this and that. I can take those risks, those gambles, and invest that currency, which is my time, into myself. Absolutely. Because right now, in all artists, all entrepreneurs and artists, your biggest currency is time. Yeah. People are paying you for your time.
It's the most expensive currency. I always say that.
Yes. Your time and then your knowledge of whatever they're hiring for. So while, it's a great example, today I had a photo shoot. They planned this super huge thing. We were shooting at park in social distancing, so we had to figure it out. The photos themselves took me, in total, for about 6 looks, it took me 45 minutes to take the photos. Okay. It was a 6-hour shoot that they planned. Do I still, now, here's a question. Do you say, hey, we only worked for us
45 minutes.
45 minutes, theoretically, Yo, God, no, you pay me my day rate because I was able to use my time to build the knowledge up to create this in 45 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how you.
But if you have a regular job, you only work 45 minutes. You only get paid for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so was that the only music video you did, or you did other music videos? Because I know that's not really your lane, and I know you talk about that a lot. Like even though photography is like a big thing, it covers a lot of different things, like wedding photography stuff. You stick to what you know.
Yeah.
So like, did you? Because you worked with a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, no. So I worked with a lot of celebrities, but that's the only music video I did.
Okay.
And I'm happy for that because, again, you're branding yourself, you're marketing yourself.
So what other celebrities you went on to work with? I remember...
I worked with Omari Hardwick from Power.
I remember that. That was like around in the last season, right?
Yeah.
Where you did this big photo shoot with him.
Yeah. So I did that. I worked with Victor Cruz. I worked with Dasha from Orange is the New Black. I worked with a producer whose his name was Bobby Brackens. Brent Fires. I worked with him. I can't remember. I feel like if I look through my thing, I remember.
The one I remember.
Ozuna.
That was the one I was with you on.
Ozuna.
And that was a funny story.
Ozuna. It was a funny story because the publication told me, hey, I just want you to do something low-key. Natural light, kind of like whatever, in the middle of the street.
But aside from all of that, we had no idea who this guy was.
That's what I'm saying.
We didn't know this guy was this big because I don't think at that time he had any like American records yet. He wasn't big over here. He didn't have any American collabs.
Yeah, no.
And this was like before like, the songs he did with Cardi B and all of them. Like we didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
But in the Latin community, in their world, this guy was already the Jay-Z to them. And
I do have bigger celebrities coming out. I don't know. Is this dropping tomorrow?
Yeah.
Alright, so I gotta wait.
Yeah.
So. It's coming like very soon. But yeah, it was. I mean,
because I remember we originally bought him like to the hood to Brooklyn.
That was happening.
We brought him to the hood. It was like, like I was just with you, like just to help you out with you know the equipment, the lighting and stuff.
And then we ended up having to drive around.
We ended up doing it in like Times Square.
And these are all funny stories because you know why? These things are like sweat equity, right? This is what people put in. I feel like entrepreneurs sometimes get discouraged because they want the glitz and glam off it, right? So that doesn't happen like that.
So that shoot, you didn't make money off of that one?
I did. I don't want to say how much I made. It wasn't a lot. I just don't want to talk like exact numbers about that public. Yeah, only because I don't want them to be mad at me. I think I'll sign the NDA.
But I mean, you did get paid.
Yeah, I got paid, but not what I got paid. Okay, it was an editorial. For editorial budgets are very different from campaign budgets, right? Okay. Unless you're like the creme de la creme, top of the top. An editorial budget, you're looking anywhere between a pool of $1,000 to $4,000. Okay, right? $4,000 is kind of on the deeper end. I work with editorial clients. I've gotten paid $4,000 a day, and that's amazing. But for the most part, an editorial job is between $750 to about $2,500.
Okay.
They'll say, hey, we have this. This could be your fee. If they go to the higher end, they normally try to say, we have this for you and your team, $2,500, right? And yeah, but I was still fairly new, so that was much closer to the early side. Yeah. But yeah. Now I mean, I wouldn't dare do anything for that amount of money, and that's not being.
I mean, you're just at a different level than you were before. You've grown since then, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you've worked with a bunch of celebrities. Yeah. You work in New York. You work in LA.
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Africa.
Australia. So Australia, LA, Morocco. London, Paris, Milan, or Italy, but within Italy, Milan, Lake Como. Yeah.
So something that just started out as just a passion,
Yeah.
you turned into a business. You took it
Yeah.
serious, grew it, and now this business not only makes you a ton of money, but it takes you all around the world.
Yeah.
And if that's not enough, what makes it even better is that you and your fiance both make money out of this together.
Yeah, because she's her own thing, and even within the social media realm, she's a much bigger figure than I am. So it's like shit. To be honest, so most of the months, at least like half of the year, she's probably doubling what I'm making.
Cause
So
I remember
it's
a time you
good
told
vibe.
me where it was like a company approached her for something,
Yeah.
and she said, "Well, this is the photographer I want," and brought you in.
Yeah, because obviously since we're together, I've shoot if all of if not most of her stuff, right? And it was a lot of talks because so mixing business with personal pleasures, when it works is a beautiful thing, but it does take some legwork, some conversations, and all that
Yeah.
to get it going, right? So we came up with this idea, like, look, I'm going to help you get to this level. I can do that because I know my skills within this. You have your set of skills. Let's come together.
And y'all bring it together,
Yeah.
and then it just works.
So how it worked, it's kind of crazy. And I don't know if this is getting too much. So if it's too much information, you probably cut it out.
No, you're good.
But at that time, I was already getting paid for photo shoots, right?
Yeah.
And she was just, I guess, starting out of sorts. So it's kind of going backwards, and it was going backwards in a sense for me, right? Quote unquote. I was doing stuff for her, for brands. I was profiting off of what I would have charged them for free. But we worked through that. We had a bunch of conversations on it. Fast forward.
She's
Now it's
the
like-
bigger.
No, but now, fast forward. Now it's like I can get paid double, if not triple, for a third of the time
Yeah.
that it would take me to do a photo shoot.
Because, I mean, you guys aren't just working with small companies. These are Fortune 500 companies that are hiring you guys.
Apple, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, but Apple's one of them, essentially. And that's
I remember,
right.
I think Timberland,
Timberland. Yeah.
isn't it like Reebok or something?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, people at times, success is relative, right?
Yeah.
So, and I heard this amazing story. It was a story from Dave Chappelle. And he was like, talking to somebody like, I was hard to make it as a comedian. And he was like, yo, you always want to be a teacher? And the guy was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, let's say you make like 50 grand as a teacher.
Yeah.
If I make 50 grand as a comedian, this is what I want to do. Who's to say I haven't made it?
That's true.
And when you think about that, it's like, yo. So let's say if I make $200,000 a year, right? But if I make $200,000 a year, working a total 3 months out of the year, traveling the world, doing what I want, I love exactly what I do. There's nothing else I would rather be doing. And I'm at peace and I'm happy and I can have a family and I can give like my children and stuff and things that I didn't have growing up and experiences and opportunities.
Yeah. Because I've noticed, like, what you guys do is, like, you guys will be on these jobs together where you're working for, like, a company hires, her and you both making money out of this. But you will go, like, overseas to do this, like in London, but then it also turns into, like, a vacation for you guys.
Yeah, if we got to fly out to London to shoot for 2 days, then I'm staying in London for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Why
like,
not?
It's just the perfect gig, to where you're making money, but then you get to travel and see the world.
Yeah. Think about it. Let's say you work in the States, right? You work in the States, you save all that money, right? Or you save it, you invest it, you do your thing with that money. And then somebody says, hey, I got damn near the same amount of money. Let's say I got $2,000 for a job to fly out to London. Why not take that $2,000 that you're gonna make on that job and use it as a vacation?
Yeah.
So now you just went to London, worked, took that money, spent it on vacation. Now you had a free trip to London.
Yeah.
You left and came back with the same amount of money you had in your pocket.
But I'm sure you guys are coming back home with a lot more money.
I ain't getting into
than you
that.
came with. I'm sure
I don't
of
know
that.
about that.
I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
came back home with a lot more than y'all left with. But I mean, did you ever think photography would take you this far?
Yes and no. I never thought that. But once I saw the possibilities, I manifested it for myself. Because I always knew that I was never supposed to be the person to work at the office.
Okay.
And I always knew I always wanted to travel the world.
Yeah.
And I always knew I wanted to do a certain amount of things. And it just so happens that when you find something that you enjoy, honestly, because it's not even just photography. It could be anything, dog. You can, like, be a puppet master.
It's just
Yeah.
finding something that you genuinely enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And even if you don't make money at it initially, it could be something that doesn't pay at all.
Yeah.
But you become good at it.
Yeah.
And then you become an expert in it.
And
then at that point, people are gonna hire you. And then once you're an expert in something, you dictate on how much people are gonna pay you for it. Because if you're that good in something you enjoy doing, people will pay you for your talent and your expertise. You know, I say it all the time. You know, you can't just go chasing something for the money because you'll eventually burn out. But if you do it for the love of it, then you're never going to stop doing it because you do it for free. But then you become good.
Yeah.
That's where the money starts rolling in.
Man.
Because people respect your talent.
Yeah. Dog. Even now that I'm thinking about talking to you, I got a perfect business model right here, right? Let's say, back in the day, I said I wanted to review movies and video games. Before COVID hit, you had the opportunity to pay $20 a month to see 3 movies a week. That's damn near unlimited movies, right?
Yeah.
You can invest $1,000 in camera equipment because it's cheap. It's cheaper now, and it's free to have a YouTube. You can literally start a business reviewing movies, not having gone to any school, not having gone to anything, with $20. What's $20 times 20 times 12 is like $240 a year, and $1,000. So let's say for $1,500. You can start up a whole YouTube business of you reviewing movies. That could be passive income if you're a person that likes to go to the movies.
Yeah. And you could just basically just give your opinion
Yeah.
on movies that you've seen.
And it doesn't matter. And now, because YouTube and this social and this creating content era that we are in, when information is open to floodgates, it's like you don't have to spend, even for photography, you don't have to spend $150,000 in school to be a photographer. Actually, I would almost tell everybody, take some money or save up some money, save up some money, get your gear, go on YouTube, figure out what you need to figure out, travel and create images.
So, do you regret going to school?
I mean, it's a twofold question. I would never go back to school. Within like this grad, I wouldn't.
Because you have your master's now.
Yeah, looking back on it, I wouldn't have done it. But who's to say I wouldn't be here if I didn't do it? But my advice, I'm not gonna say to anybody to not go to school per se. I know I just said I'm not gonna tell people don't go to school. If you feel like you want to go to school, go. All I'm saying is, for a third of the money, you could get more experience and just have more sweat, more skin in the game.
Yeah.
You can go be somebody's assistant. There's an endless amount of information on YouTube now. Endless.
Yeah. I always tell people, if you're going to go to school, just have the plan in place first.
Yeah.
On why you're going to school.
Absolutely.
Don't just go to school just to go to school, because then you'll just graduate with debt and you're still going to not know what you're going to do. You know, I went to college for one day, and that one day I realized I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I was just determined on to make money. You know, I was just like, I've always been a hustler, so I don't need to go to school to make money. I'm gonna just figure it out, find a way. I didn't know how I was gonna do it at that time, but I mean, I figured it out, and now anybody that like I went to high school with that did go into college, I make more money than all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, my net worth is more higher than most of my peers. You know.
Yeah.
You know, just because I just developed a plan, and I just hustled, and I just never settled and kept going.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like now you've made it?
Yeah, dog. If everything stopped tomorrow, I would be a happy camper. I was able to leave. I was able to be where I'm from. I went to Australia. Like, every time I get down on myself because I'm not where I want to be, I think about this. How many people do I know had the opportunity to get paid with their significant other to go to Australia and create content?
I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, and how many people are living in a situation where they are happy with what they're doing? And they wake up, they set their... I mean, you got to put the time in. So I wake up, I know you probably see my desk. I wake up, I come down here, I do the time. Yeah. I send the emails. I make the mood boards.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, it's work, but it's like, I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, you've accumulated all this success and everything.
Yeah.
What's next for Timothy Smith?
I mean, well, build on what I have right now, obviously. Get to a point where I feel like I've made enough, or I'm making enough passive income, as well as, you know, just for me shooting and working on a day-to-day, week-to-week, or month-to-month basis or whatever. But the goal is always to make more and work less, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to dabble into the real estate because I do believe, my fiance and I was talking about this, you definitely need more than one stream of income.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and just working on my craft, eventually getting into like short films and shooting movies and stuff, but just working on my craft, building my portfolio, building more relationships, you know, getting out there more. Stop being in my own head thinking that I'm not ready to do something and actually do it. And I'm actually going to dabble in the digital content game within like the realm of Twitch, YouTube, and shit like that. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
So, for any young entrepreneur out there, somebody that's starting out, what advice would you give them?
Well, my advice might be different to other people. Number one, find out what you like. And if you're a person that likes just money, cool. I would advise you to get into situations and arenas where you could get in and get out. Get your money quick, get out quick. Because, you know, money's what fuels you. You get it, you make it, you go on, you make more somewhere else. But like, if it's, you want to be a creative professionally, find your lane, stick to it, putting in 10,000 hours. Because the worst thing you can do, to me, in my mind, is start charging people for something that you can't replicate or reciprocate the value of it.
Yeah.
You would shoot yourself in the foot in the long run trying to be greedy and make money off the rip. Find something, find your craft, perfect your craft.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about making money up front. If you really love this, the money's going to come. Just do that. Figure it out how to do it. If you got to work and do it, I mean, we've all done that. We've all worked jobs that we don't like to fund stuff that we like. Have a plan, execute it, and when you take that jump, you cannot be scared that you're going to fail. Because you know what's going to happen? Sometimes you are going to fail. Sometimes you're not going to fail. There's going to be times where you run into situations like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because the universe and the people around you will validate that for you. Just don't get discouraged. Just follow.
If it's something you truly believe in, you know, just work at it.
Work at it.
Eventually, you keep putting yourself out there, it will take off. Somebody will notice it. Yeah. And you only have to be right one time.
That's it. You only got to be right one time. And then that one time, especially in my world, that one time is going to have people give you funding to make sure there's people around you so that it clicks every time. Yeah. That's the goal. You got to get it right one time by yourself. Then after that, you're afforded the luxury of time and money to have people around you to make sure it's right every time.
So I just got one more question before
picks back up, Mike.
Before we go.
Yeah.
Do you accredit your success to hard work or luck?
Both, because hard work gets you in the spot to where you get lucky. Lucky is nothing but being consistent and one day running into the right situation, the right person that'll make it happen.
I agree.
Yeah. Luck is nothing but just hard work paying off.
I agree.
Yeah.
So if anyone
wait, now can I say drop mic?
Well, I was gonna say if anyone wants to reach you.
Oh, Instagram at Timothy_Smith_. So just my name at Timothy Smith, but Timothy_Smith_. Mainly on Instagram, and it has my email and everything there. You can probably just put it on the screen or something.
All right. Timothy Smith, y'all. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, gotta drop mic.
Drops mic.
Peace, guys.